Okay, you're at the Watchman Way, March 15th, 2020. Just keeps getting better and better. Big problems at the Fed, big problems on the Dow, big problems on the S&P. S&P and Dow limit down. Dow's down 1,045 already. Early trading. S&P limited down. They had to stop trading. Dow limited down, had to stop trading. And everybody keeps telling me that the economy's going to bounce back. Guess what? It's not going to bounce back. It's over. This has to happen, guys. I had somebody accuse me of spreading fear porn. This isn't fear porn. These are facts. And if you think facts are fear porn, you're a sheep. Knowledge is power. There are tens of thousands of people that we've helped get through this situation and are going to better themselves because of it. Because they know what's coming. And then you've got everybody else, the 90% who doesn't have a clue and keeps listening to CNN and buy the dip. Yeah, keep buying that dip. That's how they get you. They suck you in and clean you out. They've been doing it for over 100 years. They're finally going down. It's man's greatest accomplishment, guys. This isn't fear porn. This has to happen. This has to happen to end the rule of evil in our world. These monsters have ruled us since Babylon. It's all going to come out. This isn't fear porn. This isn't conspiracy theory. You're going to find out. The world's going to find out that almost everything they called a conspiracy theory was the truth. I'm talking like 90% of the things that they call conspiracy theories. Huge. In fact, the first thing you ought to think when they say conspiracy theory is it's a truth. Because it's more likely to be the truth than not. Just keeps getting better, guys. Does everybody remember the movie 2012? Does everybody remember the character that Woody Harrelson played? He played like what they would call a crazy conspiracy theorist who's broadcasting from Yellowstone. I think Yellowstone, right? About the super volcano there, and he's trying to warn everyone that this is going to happen, right? Well, some member, I think it's a compliment, but he was comparing me to Woody Harrelson in that movie. The guy that is trying to warn everyone forever and gets called crazy, ends up he's the only one that's right. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. But I have been called crazy many, 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 many times in the last, almost every day. I still today. I can't believe it. That's how ignorant some of these people are, how bad the cognitive dissonance is. I get people today telling me I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to scare people. I'm glad that the economy's coming down. Well, yeah, because there's a bunch of criminals running our financial systems. It has to come down. Plus the fact there's no choice. This is a mathematical certainty. 5 years ago it was a mathematical certainty. It's at the end now. How are they can't save this. There's nothing they can do. God is the only one that can save this, and God wants it to come down. So how is it going to stand? It's not. It's over. There's still time. That's the crazy thing. You have to if you're using your critical thinking skills and discernment, you have to understand what we're talking about here. It's clear as day, that this economy's tanked. There's nothing that can save it. Explain. Give me something. Powell is all over the place. I don't know if he's going to survive this. He might have a heart attack before this is over with. First he's saying everything's fine. Then he's, I think they lowered the interest rate to zero and then added $700 billion quantitative easing. So on top of all the money they've already thrown in, which may be, well, it's probably over $700 billion now. It might be $1 trillion since January. Hey, remember, in 2008, for the whole thing that bought us 10 years plus, was only $700 billion. We're talking about 3 months, and they've already poured $1 trillion into this, and there's no end in sight. This isn't going to stop, guys. This is it. There's nothing can stop this. Get your physical silver and Litecoin. That's your protection. That's your insurance. That's going to save you from all the assets you're going to lose. Now, it's pretty clear by what's going on around the world, plus the rumors coming out, there's going to be an economic reset. Again, something I've been talking about for 5 years, which is a beautiful thing if you know it's coming and if you know what it means. It means all debt's going to be wiped out. It means if you were smart, you'd be maxing out your credit cards to buy physical silver and Litecoin, because the odds are you're never going to have to pay that money back, because in an economic reset, all debt gets wiped out. Anything you bought with that credit card, you keep. But the debt gets wiped out. Your home, you're going to own it free and clear. You may not have a job, or you're not going to have a bank account unless you've got physical silver and Litecoin, because they are going to get your bank account. Again, unless I don't know how they could make it work. I think it's just that's how it's going to be. Everything's going to get wiped out. Stocks, bonds, bank accounts. They rewrote the politicians 3 years ago. Gave the politicians. She gave the bankers the pen to write the law on the banks, the banking regulations. So what did they do? They made it so that now our deposits are considered loans to the bank. So when they fold, we go to the bottom of the list of creditors, which means if you get pennies back on the dollar, you're lucky. So there's probably not going to be anything left when this is all said and done. Why would you leave your money in the bank? In fact, I might as well talk about this now. There is no reason to leave your money in the bank. If you have a Coinbase account, that's your bank. That you got to start thinking like that is your bank. You put your check, your payroll or whatever in your bank, but immediately then you convert it into Litecoin. You buy Litecoin with everything except for, what you're going to need for the bills for a couple of weeks. Everything else goes into Coinbase. If you need to some cash, you want to probably give it a day. But for me, because my account is old and established and I have a high limit, if I sell my Litecoin before 7:30 in the morning, Pacific time, it's in my bank account that afternoon. That's Monday through Friday now, not on weekends. It's in my bank account by 2:30 Pacific in the afternoon. So if I want to pay a bill, need to pay a bill, I'll transfer it into my account and then I'll pay my bill. There's no reason to leave your money in the bank. Talked to a guy today who took it all out, took his business account down to nothing, basically, and in his personal account, same thing. And that's a smart thing to do. Why let the bank have it? If it's in Litecoin, it's just going to go up in value. Now, you're going to lose a little bit in the transaction fees because it costs a couple of dollars to transfer. But if you're doubling your deposit, which is going to happen, you're ahead. There's no reason to have any money in the bank. $100, $50. Don't let them get any more than that. And you're going to be happy to see what the Litecoin is going to end up doing, because I don't know where it is right before I came on, but about, I don't know, it was an hour and a half or so, 2 hours ago, maybe it was 35 something. Again, the stock market was down 10.45, and that was after it was stopped, limited down. S&P was down big. Tomorrow, we'll see what happens tomorrow. This week, guys, I think we're going to see martial law. They're talking about this thing's escalating quickly. It's like what they're doing is they don't want to lose the momentum, so they're just going to push this through. I think what they're afraid of is people are going to start to say, well, wait a minute. We're talking pandemic, but 50, what is it? 60 people killed in 50, where is it? It's 55 or 60 people in the United States. Now, again, I don't want to make light of anybody dying, but this isn't a pandemic. This is the flu. The flu is more dangerous than this virus that they got everybody so panicked about. And I think that's why they're pushing it through, because they don't want people to have a breather here where things kind of level out for a few days and people have a chance to look around and say, well, wait a minute, this isn't that bad. No, they want to run it through and bring it down. So I think they're going to run through the martial law. That martial law, instead of hitting, we originally said the first part of April, I think it's going to hit this week. We'll see how it goes. But just, it's moving at a very fast pace. That's the other reason, guys. You don't want to waste any time purchasing your physical silver and Litecoin. The problem with Litecoin now is, and it's going to get worse, so the sooner you get on this, the better. Remember, to get Litecoin, you don't mess around with a small bank. If you've got a small bank, that's fine, but you're going to open an account in Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or Citibank. Those banks, you're guaranteed to be able to open an account with Coinbase. They accept the major banks. And then get your cash transferred into your Coinbase. You're protecting that money a little bit longer. And doubling it, tripling it maybe, who knows? Because when this collapse hits, everybody's had a chance to see now what happens when panic sets in. The store shelves are empty across the country. Not 100% empty, but they're getting close. What do you think's going to happen when the banks close? What do you think's going to happen to the precious metals market and the crypto markets? When everybody knows then that the paper assets are screwed, and trust me, all the big nut money already knows that. The reason that the prices are down on silver and Litecoin is because they've been driving it down, because they're going to, right at the bottom, right before it's going to collapse, they're going to dump all their money into precious metals and cryptocurrencies. This is the best of both worlds, guys. We know what the bad guy's plan is. We know what's coming. Foreknowledge on the biggest, the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. To have foreknowledge of that. Remember Back to the Future? the bad guy, the guy who lived in the high rise, the penthouse, who McDuff, I think, was that his name? Well, finds out the reason he was so rich was because he had the foreknowledge. He had a book from the future that told like all of the sporting events results, right? For 50 years. And so he was betting on all these events. Well, it's easy. If you know what's going to happen, you guys know what's going to happen. There's no excuse here. I mean, you're going to kick yourself. If you leave $50 that you could have put in Litecoin, think about that. That's how I think about it now. You know, $20 to me, like a couple of months ago, you know, that's a haircut, right? I didn't get my haircut for like 6 weeks because I kept thinking that's a Litecoin. That's $3 million. That's a $3 million haircut. That's how you have to start thinking about this, guys, because that's the reality of it. Anything that you can save. And right now at 35 or whatever it is $35 is going to be 3 million. Get as much as you can. And don't forget the silver. I'm recommending 50-50. Whatever you're going to invest, half of it in silver, half of it in Litecoin. You've got to get your dimes, go under junk silver at the bullion dealers. You know, get half, well, get $300 to $500 in dimes. And whatever your silver buy is, let's just say it's $1,000. So you get 300 in dimes and 700 in generic 1 ounce rounds, which are the cheapest rounds you can find on the sites. Just, yeah, whatever's cheapest, buy that. Don't spend the money on the premium coins. It's a waste. Buy the cheapest. It's all the same silver. It's 999 silver. Don't worry about the collectability because nobody's going to be buying it in 4 years for the collectability. They're going to be buying it for the silver. And it's going to be a lot of money. You know, silver could be $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 in a couple of years. It's less than $17, I think, today, or it was yesterday, and I think it's around the same. Look at all the CEOs resigning. Look at Schiff. You know, supposedly he's self-quarantining, right? The same with Trudeau. Tom Hanks isn't leaving his room in Australia. Isn't it curious that these are the same people we've been talking about as being pedophiles for the last couple of years? That now they're the ones that have the virus? Or are they really at Gitmo? Or awaiting transportation to Gitmo? We posted something today that kind of went into a little bit more detail about who's going down, who's gone down. You know, the whole deal about Weinstein and the reason he got 23 years was because he ratted out a bunch of the elites. The only way I think that's true, and I think it might be true, is if he didn't murder any kids. Because if he did, they wouldn't let him off. You know, they let him rat out their buddies. You know, we knew this day was coming. You know, they stuck together pretty good, you know, most of the way through this. But at the end, we knew they were all going to fold. They're going to start turning on each other. And that's where we're at now. They're starting to turn on each other. Wait till you see how they tear Obama apart. Because who wants to hang, right? Especially for that rat bastard. So yeah, they're going to throw him to the wolves. Possibly the Antichrist going down. The Fed disaster. S&P futures crash. Halted limit down. Dow futures crash. Halted limit down. New York closes schools until April 20th. Maybe even into May. Depends on how quickly this goes. The military have had all leave restricted, gone until May 10th. All military, all U.S. military. No leave until May 10th. They're not even supposed to leave the base, as far as I know, unless they're, and which is pretty curious when we hear about all these National Guard bases emptying or being empty or running on skeleton crews. What does that tell us? It tells us that these troops and material are being positioned around the country for martial law that's coming probably this week. There's nothing to fear. This is not fear porn. We want the troops on the street, guys. Do you want BLM and Antifa running wild? I don't think they're going to, but they're more likely to if there's no martial law. They're going to get their heads cracked. They start trying to pull the crap they pulled in Portland with the Portland police. Let them try that with the National Guard of the Marines. They're going to get billy clubbed, rightfully so, like they should have been with all these protests where they were beating innocent conservatives and elderly. Bunch of cowards. It's over. It's over for the deep state. It's over for the mainstream media. It's over for the Democratic Party. It's over for the CIA. It's over for the Fed. It's over for the IRS. All of the corruption, all the manipulation in government, judicial system, business, all going to be eliminated. 90% of the evil in the world is going to be eradicated. What kind of world do you think we're going to have? It's going to be awesome, guys. It's going to be awesome. Heaven on earth. Man's greatest age. Greatest transfer of wealth in history. I was telling somebody today, this isn't the greatest opportunity in my lifetime or your lifetime. This is going to be the greatest opportunity in the history, not just the past history, but future. There will never be another event like this. There will never be another transfer of wealth like this. This is the perfect storm for this to happen. And you don't see God's hands all over this? President Trump gets elected and you don't see God's hands all over this? Something's wrong. You better do some more homework because you're way off track if you don't see God's hand in what's been happening around the world. We're going to see the end of communism around the world in the next 10 years, maybe 5. Freedom like the world has never seen. End of globalism. End of the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Peseurs. They're all going down. Schmidt from Google, Zuckerberg, Bezos from Amazon. I think many of those guys are going to be executed. Bill Gates should be executed for crimes against humanity. Love to see it. Anybody who's been involved in this, treason, murder, see ya. And trust me, when the people see what they've done to our children, no one is going to protest. No one's gonna cry out for them to be saved or no, it's not happening. They all need to hang. You murdered a child, you need to hang. You committed treason against America, you need to hang. I mean, that's my opinion. If they want to give them life, I'm not going to complain. But, it's not my job, right? I've got my opinion. I know if I was the judge, what would happen. They're lucky I'm not the judge. Because I know what they've been doing. Very well. Too well do I know what they've been doing. I had a stroke over what they've been doing to our kids. For thousands of years, this has been going on. Not anymore. It ends in 2020. Forever. And we will never allow this evil. The watchmen will never allow this evil to get the foothold they have this time. We'll make sure of it. We will be vigilant. 1,000 years into the future, we won't allow this. As we can, take on our additional role of reviving the way, God's religion, The religion that Jesus taught 2,000 years ago. You can't write. You can't make this up, guys. Amazing, amazing what's going on around the world. You know, you say fear porn. You're ignorant if you think this is fear porn, because this is all positive. If you really understand it, if you don't understand it and you think it's fear porn, you're ignorant. It's that simple. Because if you understood the big picture, you know, all you're hearing are the hot buttons: financial collapse, pedophilia, deep state, swamp. Look at the aftermath of this happening. And then take a look at, conversely, if it didn't happen, where are we headed? We're headed to 7 billion people dead, because that's what the deep state wants, because they want a 500 million population instead of a 7.5 billion. They call us worthless eaters. They don't need us anymore. You know, they've got the robots now. They can do almost everything. They can do everything we do. They don't need us. They need 500 million of us. That's all they need. So that's what they were going to do. That's how arrogant they are. They don't deserve to be on this planet. And when you see what they've done to our children, you're going to feel the same way. Trust me. You can't have kids. You can't have compassion and know what these people have done. It's not just murder. It's sexually assaulting and torturing to death children and draining their blood and eating their body parts. That's what they're doing. And it's all on video. Think about that. And it's all coming out. 2020. This is the end. Couldn't write a better script. Okay. Chaos as enhanced screening. The airports are overwhelmed. U.S. citizens scrambling back from Europe. Yeah, I don't want to get stuck over there. You do not want to be in the EU right now. I think with God's good graces and intervention, it's going to go better than I originally thought, but that was going to be a bloodbath in the EU because it was going to be civil war because the government was probably going to check out and go hide, and the citizens were going to end up fighting it out with the Muslim refugees, was how it was going to go down. I think we might get some relief there. We'll see. Fed holds emergency Fed phone conference explaining why nothing is screwed. And then we find out everything is screwed. The scam of the worldwide economy. Bleeding us dry, stealing us blind. And we, like sheep, went along with it for over 100 years. Dr. Fauci, I guess, who's the U.S. Guru on the virus. What does he say? He's open to a national shutdown of domestic travel. This is the guy that's in charge of basically setting the policy. He's all for it. He's okay with it. Coming with martial law. Yeah, it's not even 60 dead yet in America. U.S. banks suspend stock buybacks. It was illegal in the first place. You should have never been doing it. Fed panic cuts rates to zero. Powell announces $700 billion QE5. Nothing can stop what's coming. We're there, guys. Get on board. Put aside the cognitive dissonance. The watchmen know to be looking for cognitive dissonance. Tiffany, how you doing? Almost everything that's going to happen here is going to happen in Canada. It's happening around the world. Trudeau's going down. Trudeau's going to be executed. He's a pedophile. He's all a part of that crew. Corey, how you doing? Yeah, Mike's saying it's almost 2 trillion, printing money like crazy. Scott, how you doing? Tessie, hello. Yeah, listen, this is all good, guys. All you have to know, extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, Litecoin. You got those things, you're going to thrive through this. Through this and skyrocket on the other side of it. Donna, how you doing? Jane, hello. Judy, how you doing? Myra, hello. David, what's up? Amy, how you doing? Jay, what's up? Keith. There's Gary's twin brother, Jerry. How's it going, Jerry? Well, probably because you're putting the wrong ID in. Jerry can't figure out why Coinbase won't take his money. Well, it might have something to do with being overwhelmed, guys. That's another reason why you can't wait. Because trust me, when this goes down, Coinbase is probably going to be jammed up. It's going to be a log jam there. It might be weeks before you can get anything bought. And then who knows what the price is going to be. You could start at $50 and it could be $500 before you could actually buy any. Think about how frustrating that would be. Amanda, how you doing? April, hello. Joy, is it Joy's birthday today? It was today or yesterday. Joy, how you doing? I'm losing track of the days, guys. Jeremy, how you doing? Don't be scared of the virus. Joy's got people scared. Have them watch the live chat. I'll talk them through it. Joseph, how you doing? Oh, you're welcome, Joseph. Jeremy's here. Good job, Jeremy. I believe there's going to be a huge explosion of the mass adoption of cryptocurrencies, and Litecoin will be one of the most widely accepted. So I think, in a matter of a month or two at the most, almost all companies are going to take cryptocurrencies because they're not going to be able to get it from credit cards or banks. So they're going to be happy to get the cryptocurrencies. Something of value. Biff, that's right. Biff from Back to the Future. The Sportsman Almanac. There you go. That's exactly what we got here, guys. We have a Back to the Future moment here. Who's going to take advantage? I did. Hugely. Don't miss a boat. You'll kick yourself from the rest of your life. I'm not kidding. Yeah, there won't be any utility companies in a few years. Tiffany heard that Trudeau got indicted. Well, we put out that post about several people being indicted. That hasn't been confirmed yet, guys. I'm pretty sure it's true, but it hasn't been confirmed, so don't get too excited. Thank you, Linda. Danielle, how you doing? Kathleen, how you doing? Yeah, de Blasio announced schools are closed indefinitely. Again, I'm hearing May 10th probably is the earliest for things to get ramp back up. But this could go on for 6 months, guys, depending. It all depends on how quickly they get the economy turned back around. If they really have a gold-backed currency out by the end of this month, by March 30th, we might be okay by the end of April. Especially if they get the banks cleaned up between now and the end of the month, first part of next month, and then get the stimulus money, there's a couple of different things they're talking about. They're talking about NESARA, GESARA. They're talking about a program through the Social Security, what you've paid in. You get something back based on that as kind of seed money to get the economy ramped up again. But what I can tell you is that the watchmen and our friends and family who've taken advantage of this knowledge from God, are going to have a huge jump start on everybody else. We're leapfrogging everyone. We're going to the front of the line. How does that feel? To be, a blue collar guy and being able to jump to the front of the line. That has never happened in history before. It's happening now, guys. That's what the greatest transfer of wealth means. Is there's going to be people like you and me who are going from middle class to upper class in the snap of a finger. Or fingers. I guess it takes two. Oh, and it's Danielle's son's 13th birthday. Happy birthday, Egg Boy. We're going to start calling him Egg Boy. And I do have empathy. Marcia's husband said he wants some of what she's taking. It's called physical silver and Litecoin. Get it where you can. It's a lot more than that, guys. You all know that. I mean, listen, we're going to be the freest the world has ever been. We thought we were free before. We really weren't free. We're going to be truly free. Mike. Brian, how you doing? Brian's a newbie. Welcome, Brian. Good to have you on board. Itamar, my Brazilian friend, my Brazilian cowboy friend. What's up, buddy? Well, you're welcome, Danielle. The plan is that probably around the first of the month, I'm heading to Arizona. That's kind of the game plan right now. But as crazy as things are right now, that's just tentative. It's subject to change, but that's my game plan right now. The way, the truth, the life. That reminds me, guys, the 1 week way challenge. Live your life the way for 1 week. So basically the way in a nutshell. Tell the truth every time. Do the right thing every time. Live your life in the service of others. Treat others with respect. There's no downside to it, guys. Try it. Try doing that for a week. You'll be amazed. The difference, how you feel about, how you're living your life. Try it for a week. Yeah, Marcia's got a good point here, guys. She's saying she's red-pilled a ton of people in the last 24 hours. People are looking for it now. Let's take advantage of that. Let's make a last push here. However many days or weeks we have left, let's make a last push. Get as many as we can. Cheryl's granddaughter got baptized in a water tank in her backyard. Good job. Julie, how you doing? Marcy got her mom to join us. Welcome, Mom. Mom's probably younger than me. Todd, how you doing? Tom, how you doing? Mike's got colloidal silver, guys. Take advantage. Mike, right here, Jan Man. Colloidal silver, it's 25% or less of what you pay at a GNC. It's a natural antibiotic. Everyone should have it as part of their medical supplies. There you go, Danielle. Danielle just taught an old dog new tricks. A 74-year-old Democrat she got to vote for Trump. Good job, Danielle. Keep it up. The name of the guy in 2020 was Charlie Frost. Is that who uh, Woody Harrelson? That was his character. William is saying he's been locked out of Coinbase for a couple of weeks. William, you need to call in tomorrow. Call the 800 number because you shouldn't be locked out for a couple of weeks. Something's wrong. And you need to make sure that your account is square. You don't want to be doing this in the middle of the collapse when they're too busy to help you. Yeah, listen, guys. Every day that goes by, this is getting harder for people to ignore. Trust me, when they declare martial law, everybody's going to be awake. It's getting easier. Keep pushing. Joy is the big 4-0. God, a youngster. Yeah, to be 40 again. Yeah, Danielle has 2 point, or I don't know, almost 3 Litecoin, something like that. Randy, how you doing? Terry, hello. Cousin Jackie, hello. Tom bought some Litecoin yesterday. Good job, Tom. Did say, I believe he's talking about either Pence or President Trump. Said he's going to keep the store stocked. That's what I've been saying, guys. I believed he would. But this is still good that people are getting some put away because the more people that have food stocked, the less President Trump has to worry about. So this isn't a bad thing. This is really a good thing. The fear and the hype that people are seeing surrounding this is motivating them to do something. That's the positive. That's the silver lining in this. There's nothing. There is zero they can do that's going to stop this, guys. I don't care. They could throw 100 trillion at this. It's going to cause the opposite problem. Hyperinflation. You print too much, you got hyperinflation. You don't print enough, it collapses. It's over. Nothing. Absolutely nothing they can do can change this. Danny, how you doing? Yeah, well, it's the banks manipulating it. It's the big money manipulating it. Um, that manipulation is about ready to end, guys. And when it does, that's when the shackles come off and everything finds its fair market value. And what you're going to find is physical silver and Litecoin, their fair market value is going to be way more than it is right now. And it's just going to keep going for years. It could go up for 10 years. Both Litecoin and silver. You're welcome, Brian. Glad you found us. Tell your friends and your relatives and your neighbors. Don't be afraid, guys. Now's the time to be bold. Remember, it doesn't make any difference if you get in an argument. You've planted a seed. I'm going to guarantee you, you get in an argument with somebody today, in a week or 10 days, when everything blows up, or tomorrow, they're going to remember that argument they had, and they're going to be calling you back, apologizing, hopefully, and asking questions. Joyce had people messaging her like crazy. I've been on the phone for 2 days. Sedona, Arizona. Sedona, it's there are other parts probably. Sedona, like right around Sedona, the 20-mile radius or so, 10-mile radius, you're going to be more small, 5 and 10 acre parcels are usually the biggest. If you 20 or 30 is kind of rare. I mean, they're out there, but they're hard to find. I've been looking. Um, farther north, you can get some big parcels. Closer to Phoenix as you're heading south, you can get some bigger parcels. So yeah, I mean, and it's good country. I like, to me, Sedona is about an hour and a half north of Phoenix. So you're far enough away from Phoenix, which is a big city in the south or mid uh, Arizona. Flagstaff is a bigger city, not as nowhere near as big as Phoenix, but that's maybe 45 minutes north. So Sedona is kind of isolated. It's not on a main highway. It's kind of off the highway a little bit. So it's got everything I'm looking for. Plus, I really like it's all the red rocks. Beautiful country. Yeah, got to get people on the website. Got to get people signed up with their information, contact info. On the Watchman page, the watchmenway.com and the watchman.co, the two websites. Just tell them to get their extra silver and Litecoin, Tessie. Don't worry about JFK Jr. right now. That's not important. Focus on our number one goal as watchmen. Red pill and prepare. Get people red pilled and prepared. Forget about everything else right now. Danielle's asking if you're... I don't know what you mean, Danielle. Is your what good? Your Litecoin? Your Litecoin's good. It'll be better when you have it in your ledger. A lot of excitement out there, it seems. A lot of birthday wishes for Joy. Benny, how you doing? Jerry, how you doing? Thank you, David. Jerry, it looks like he got his Litecoin bought. Good job, Jerry. Cynthia, how you doing? Elida, how you doing? Okay. Well, tell him you think he's alive and then red pill him. Have they bought their Litecoin yet? That's what I want to know. That's what you need to ask them. Tell them about JFK in 1 minute or less, and then make sure they get their Litecoin and silver. You don't need your ledger right away, but I wouldn't wait too long, guys. If you can get it, if you can afford to get it now. Okay. That's all the questions. Oh, that's the other thing. Uh, shoot. I think New Mexico. They're kind of going off the deep end. They're supposedly suspending gun and ammo sales. They're closing all bars. Uh, I hope President Trump steps in. Here's the bottom line. A state cannot override our Constitution. And at a time like this, when people are concerned with possibly good reason, there's going to be possibly rioting and looting, possibly. You can't deny them the right to buy a firearm to protect themselves. And I hope President Trump gets on this pretty quick. Now, I haven't confirmed this, but I did see a post that looks pretty official. we'll see how it plays out. But we know these guys are pulling this crap. They tried it in Virginia with a gun grab. They've tried it a couple of different states. They cannot override the Constitution. Yeah, it's illegal. It's not a legal law. You can, and anybody who tries to enforce those unconstitutional laws should be held accountable too. Because law enforcement officers take an oath to uphold the Constitution. And let me tell you guys, trying to claim that it's a law and that's why you did something that was wrong, it doesn't work. Ask the Nazis at Nuremberg. Many of them. Because it was law. The extermination of the Jews, they were just following the law. That's what the law required. Yeah, they all got executed. Same thing's going to happen. That shit doesn't fly. You violate the Constitution, you violate basic human rights, probably going to hang. Ides of March. Bill saying, is that your trucking company, Bill? My cousin Bill works for a trucking company in Sonoma County. I'll get the scoop on that. They've been around a long time, I think. Okay, guys, remember, this is getting easier, but it's still very dependent on how you frame your presentation. And it's got to be from a positive perspective. All of this has to happen for us to have man's greatest age, to get the greatest transfer of wealth. That's how you have to present this to people. It makes it much easier for them to absorb that way. You won't see those glazed over looks and that cognitive dissonance. Beware of cognitive dissonance. If you see those glazed over looks, you got to slow down, back up, get them on a positive track, and continue. Don't keep going if they've got that glazed over look. You're wasting your time because they aren't absorbing anything you're telling them. Do a test. Do it. Keep going for about 5 minutes, and then at the end, ask them what they remember. Just ask them. Try it one time. Because they got nothing. Because their brain is frozen. They get nothing there. Justin, how you doing? Libby, how you doing? Okay, guys. Someone told me today that I looked really tired and really skinny. So I'm going to go take a nap. Remember, fear not. God and President Trump are 1,000% in control. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.